testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please have a seat. And for the record, say and spell your first and last name, please.
Steve Castro, S-T-E-V-E-C-A-S-T-R-O.
Thank you. Detective Castro, are you currently employed?
I am.
Where are you employed?
The Englewood Police Department.
Okay. Back in 2017, what was your occupation?
I was a homicide D3 detective with the Los Angeles Police Department assigned to Operation Valley Bureau.
And overall, how long have you been a sworn peace officer?
34 and a half years.
Okay, so you went from LAPD to Englewood?
Yes.
All right. Back in the time frame of 2017, can you explain what your role was?
Yes, I was a D3, a detective supervisor in charge of an entire table as a coordinator. And I was in charge of 6 detectives.
Did you at some point, was that in a homicide unit?
That's correct.
Okay. And where was that homicide unit out of? What area of Los Angeles?
We worked out of the Van Nuys station.
During that time, did you supervise some detectives that we've heard from? A Verna, a Parshall, did you supervise them?
Yes.
And then how does that work as far as your rank? Were a D3 as opposed to somebody who's in homicide as a detective?
Yes, when you become a detective, you become a D1 where you're an investigator. Then you can promote to a D2, which you're a supervisor. And then you promote to a D3, which now you're a supervisor in charge of the entire squad.
January of 2017, how long had you been in LAPD, the homicide unit in the Valley?
Well, I was working North Hollywood homicide in 2005. We became centralized in 2015. So out of Valley Bureau homicide, approximately 2 years.
And then how long overall in homicide?
18 years.
Okay. Did you respond to a radio call then of an occurrence that occurred at 5012 Queen Victoria Street, or Road actually, in Woodland Hills on January 23rd, 2017?
Yes.
Did you go to that location that night?
I did.
Exhibit 9, which is on the screen, page 8, is that the location that you responded to?
Yes.
About what time did you get there?
I'd have to look at the crime scene log to be exact, but I'm thinking somewhere around 7 p.m., maybe 1900 hours, something to that effect.
And when you got there, do you recall who was there? Not every single person, but who had charge of the scene?
Well, once we arrived, we were in charge of the scene, but I remember there being a possible captain there, a couple detectives, some officers that were there. The yellow tape was up.
Was that case then assigned to Detectives Parshall and Verna?
Yes.
Were they with you?
They arrived a little after me.
And then when you're at the scene, what did you proceed to do?
So when I'm at the scene, I basically delegate. We knew that on that night that the detectives, the lead detectives, were going to be Detective Parshall and Verna. They're assigned prior. That week you're on call, you designate whoever the next person is up. So they were the lead detectives, and then there's 4 other detectives, and I usually delegate to them which one's doing the crime scene, which one is helping out with interviews or looking for surveillance, things of that nature.
Speaking of surveillance, did you yourself locate some surveillance?
Yes.
Okay. What's already been marked as Exhibit 9, page 4. What's circled right here with the red circle, did you recognize that while you were there in person, that location?
Yes.
Was there a video camera right there?
There was.
And Exhibit 9, page 5, a close-up then, was that a video camera or surveillance type equipment that was affixed to that structure right there?
Yes.
On People's 9, page 4, can you tell us in the orient, what street is this that's running from the bottom to the top of the photograph?
I believe that's Queen Victoria.
and then the street at the bottom that intersects it along the bottom right here.
Oh, I forget the street. That street goes all the way up to Ventura.
Is it Oakdale?
That's correct, yes.
Did you make an attempt then to retrieve the video surveillance from that location?
We viewed it.
You viewed it. Who
Yes.
did you view it with?
Detective Bucknell.
Okay. So you went to that actual location, and did you meet someone at the location who showed you the video?
Yes, I believe, I don't remember who it was, but yes.
Okay. And that was the day of the murder?
Yes, or right around there, yes.
Okay. And if I may, has it already been marked? What's already been marked as People's 19, if I may play a video. The Queen Victoria surveillance video, sorry. Just want to make sure, because on 19 we have multiple videos. If I may play that. Well, if you could just pause it for 1 second right there. So we're just pausing it right there. That photograph up there, the street that runs from left to right, what street is that? There's a car traveling on it.
That's okay.
Okay, so is that the same view that we saw earlier? And then the street that, if you were to go to the right, does that go up the hill to the Sementilli residence?
That is correct.
Just switching back very quickly, that's the view from this camera then looking in the direction of that car that was traveling, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does that video then that you just watched in court depict what you saw that day when you viewed the video at that location?
Yes.
And was that showing the two, let's call them joggers wearing the hooded sweatshirts?
Yes.
What's been marked as People's 19, page 21. Is that a screenshot then of what we just watched on the video?
It is.
Okay. Did you note the timestamp that was on the video while you're watching it live that day on the 23rd of January 2017?
Yes.
And did you note the timestamp on it if it was accurate?
It was off.
How was it off?
Exactly what it says there, 1 hour fast.
So the timestamp showed 1 hour fast.
Correct.
Okay. So if the timestamp is 17:18 on the actual video, what is that in regular time?
That would be 5:18.
Okay, and so then you were able to determine that the video was actually at 4:18 p.m.?
Yes.
And how did you determine that?
By looking at the video and then comparing it to the real time.
Okay. All right, and then there's another video. Did you also look at a video of a car leaving this area and take that as part of your evidence?
Yes.
I was second video. It's also on People's 19. The Porsche leaving the scene. I could play People's 19. Okay. The video up on the screen, then that Porsche leaving, that's the same intersection we've been talking about now, leaving from the direction of the Sementilli residence, leaving and going right on Oakdale, is that correct?
That's correct.
And exhibit 19, page 23, just for reference, is that a still shot of what we're looking at on the video. And again, 1 hour ahead.
That is correct.
So that's at 4:53 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Did you put out some type of crime broadcast
No.
regarding this?
A crime alert.
Okay, what is that?
Yes. A crime alert, we manufacture that at the station, and then we put information of what we're looking for in a certain situation, in this case, this murder.
And we have People's Exhibit 7 then. Is this an example of some of the crime alerts that you helped to create?
Correct.
What's the purpose of this?
This is for the purpose of police officers that go out and patrol. They're aware of the situation, they're aware of this flyer, they're aware of what took place, and they're aware of what we're looking for.
And then what do you put on as far as the photographs? What are the photographs that you put on this crime alert?
Well, in this case, we determined these two individuals to be the suspects. The vehicle up top is the vehicle that the victim owned, not exactly his vehicle, the exact same vehicle though, but not his. And then we put a little narrative of what we're looking for.
Does this go internally then within law enforcement?
Yes.
Does it go out to the public at all?
No.
Did you do anything to alert the public that you need their help or assistance with these photographs of the two individuals or the car?
What I did was what we always do on a case like this, we put out a press release. And
When
that
you
was
say-
done as well.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was done as well.
And when you say a case like this, what do you mean?
Well, a murder in this situation, we usually put out press releases on that.
For the press release, and then did you release these photographs of the two individuals jogging, if you remember?
I don't remember if we did immediately or not. I don't recall.
Now, while you're at the scene, was there anything else specific that you did at the scene aside from looking for the videos and directing individuals to do different tasks?
Well, like I said, when we arrived there, we looked at the crime scene. We tried to identify evidence, whether it be biological, trace, technological. Door knock neighbors. I know I went there the next day and door knocked a few neighbors myself. I don't know specifically what you're asking, though, in regards to
Okay.
what else I did.
That's fine. Now, did you also receive a call from a Salma Cherry on June 25th?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He was giving me information of when he last spoke to the victim. He identified himself as being don't remember, a coworker or his boss. I think it was his boss, and he had informed me that he spoke to the victim on that day of the murder.
Did he tell you if you received any voicemails from that victim, Fabio?
Yes.
What did he tell you about that?
That the victim had left a message on his, I don't remember if it was a cell phone or machine.
Okay, do you recall what time that message was?
I believe it was 4:27 p.m.
Okay. Does that assist you then in a timeline as to when the victim was obviously still alive?
Yes, he was alive at 4:27 p.m. on that day.
Now, as far as an autopsy, well, not an autopsy, but, well, an autopsy. In Los Angeles, is it customary then for a victim to have an autopsy when there's a suspicious death or somebody was murdered or something of that nature?
Yes,
Did you attend the autopsy?
I did not.
Did you end up ultimately booking some evidence into custody from the autopsy?
I did not, but I signed a property report that was prepared by Detective Parshall, who did book evidence from the coroner's office.
So did Detective Parshall then bring you the victim's what we call a bloodstain card, item 72?
Yes,
What is that?
that is a bloodstain card that is obtained by the coroner's office as a reference from the victim.
So the victim's blood.
Correct.
Okay. And then item 73, victim's clothing, was that booked, or you signed off on that to be booked by Detective Parshall as well?
I did,
And then item 74, victim's haircut,
as well, yes.
and you signed off on that as well?
I did.
On March 20th, 2017, did you receive a call from Feidy, F-E-I-D-Y, who represents Cody? We've talked about Cody as a company regarding Fabio's life insurance policy.
I did.
And what were you informed about that?
I was informed
Still rule.
I was informed that there was a life insurance policy that was on the victim.
Okay, did they tell you how much it was for?
Yes, 1.6 million, I believe.
And did they inform you who the beneficiaries were of this life insurance policy?
They did.
Who did they tell you?
They said it was the victim's son, wife, and 2 daughters.
Okay. Now, as far as if anyone had been cleared, did you have any conversation about if people needed to be cleared in order to receive life insurance?
Yes.
What was that conversation?
The conversation was that I instructed the insurance company not to release any funds pending further investigation until everyone's cleared.
And is that customary in the homicide investigations that you've been part of?
Yes.
On March 22nd, 2017, this is following the death of Fabio, did you receive a voicemail from the defendant inquiring about insurance?
Yes,
And by the way, did you ever meet face-to-face with the defendant?
I did.
Okay, do you see her in court?
Yes.
Can you please identify where she's sitting and what she's wearing?
She's sitting with a white sweater to the right of counsel.
And was there anything unusual about this particular voicemail?
Yes.
Can you please explain that?
It was a voice message from the defendant, and she was inquiring. She was upset why her insurance funds were not being released at the time. She wanted to know why. She expressed that she had financial issues and demanded a phone call back.
And was this voicemail to you or someone else?
It was to me, but she wanted a call back from myself or Detective Parshall.
At this point, were you the lead detective on the case handling it?
I was the supervisor of the case.
Okay. So during the call, did she complain about any of the detectives on the case that reported to you?
I don't recall if she specifically complained about the detective. She was upset that the money from the insurance company was being withheld.
After you got that voicemail, then what did you do?
Well, I thought it was pretty significant, so I called Detective Parshall over, and I wanted him to listen to the message as well.
And why did you go to Detective Parshall specifically?
Because Detective Parshall was the lead detective, and I wanted him to be aware of this voice message.
Now, was this voice message recorded in any way?
It was recorded on the messages in the main line for Valley Bureau Homicide.
Okay. Did you memorialize then this message in writing on April 27th, 2017? I
did.
Why did you do that?
Because it was a pretty significant message. I had never received a message like that from a beneficiary.
And again, did it come on your particular voicemail?
Yes.
Is there a reason why, did you save that voicemail?
I did not save the voice message.
Is there any reason why you didn't save it, if you recall?
All I remember is calling over Detective Parshall, and I told him, listen to this message, and he did. I go, do you want me to contact her? And I'll take the heat for delaying the funds, because I know he had a pretty good rapport with the defendant.
Okay. Did you attend the memorial for Wella, or held by Wella for Fabio on May 22nd, 2017 in Woodland Hills?
I did.
Did you go with anyone in particular?
Yes.
Who did you go with?
Detective Parshall.
Was there a reason why you went to the memorial?
I believe we were invited to begin with, and I believe Detective Parshall's partner at the time was not available.
Okay. Do you know who you were invited by?
The defendant.
Okay. So when you went to the memorial, can you describe what it was?
Yes, it was a memorial. Very nice, actually. A lot of rooms. They had a board where people would write. It's more of a celebration of life type of thing. Their memories of the defendant. Nice gathering. Things of that nature. It was nice.
Exhibit 90s on the screen, page 3, is that what you described as part of the board where people wrote messages?
Yes, it was a wall, yes.
And then showing people's 90, page 4, again, this exhibit was where people could write?
Yes.
And not visible in the photograph that's up on the screen, but were there photos of Fabio around this memorial?
Yes.
Exhibit 90, page 5. Did you see those individuals there?
I saw the defendant there, and I possibly saw the two women with her. I don't specifically recall them.
Okay. Did you talk to the defendant at this memorial?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
Well, she gave us a tour, basically, and showing us around and things of that nature.
Did she tell you anything about her relationship with Fabio?
Yes. How special?
Go ahead.
Sorry. How special it was. How in love she was. How he was her soulmate. How hard it would be to continue her life. Things like that.
Now, during this memorial, did she address the audience or the people that were there?
She did.
And what did you see her do?
There was a gathering of people, and she addressed the entire audience and spoke about Fabio.
Okay, did she sing anything?
She did.
What did she sing?
I believe it was I Did It My Way.
And was it just her up on the stage singing that?
I believe so. I don't know for sure, but I believe so.
Okay. After the memorial, then, what kind of role did you continue to have, if any, with the defendant specifically?
I believe that was the last day I spoke to her and saw her myself.
Were you involved at all in the arrest that occurred then on June 14th, 2017, which would be, a month or so after this event?
No.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
I see counsel sidebar.
Good afternoon.
This memorial that you attended in May, that was on the 23rd?
I believe so.
And Ms. Sementilli invited you to the memorial?
I know she invited Detective Parshall and his partner, and like I said, he was not available, so I attended.
Okay. And when Ms. Sementilli was on stage, she was also with her daughters. You were familiar with her daughters?
She could have been. I don't recall that.
Okay. So you don't recall whether she was up on stage singing this song with her daughters or not?
I know she was up there singing the song. I don't remember if her daughters were with her. They could have been.
Okay. And you said she took you around to show you the workplace?
Yes,
She showed you Fabio's office?
she did.
And that's where you had your discussions with her?
We spoke, yes. I don't know if it was exactly there. It could have been.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Bringing you back to the night the case was first assigned, the night of the killing on January 23rd.
Yes.
You described securing a video of two suspects, the joggers, I think that was referred to as. Do you recall doing that?
I do.
Okay. Where did you go? What was the location of, I think Ms. Stagel referred to it as a structure. What was the location you retrieved the video from?
The residence was 5019 Queen Victoria.
Okay. And did you speak to a homeowner?
I believe we did. I just don't have that recollection, but I believe we did.
Okay. And did you make any report of retrieving it from the homeowner?
I did not, because we didn't retrieve it. We viewed the video.
So you just viewed it that night. You didn't actually take a copy of it yet?
That's correct.
Okay. And did there come a point in time where you did retrieve the video, a copy?
A copy of that video was retrieved, but not by myself.
Okay. Do you know who retrieved that?
Yes. I don't know specifically the person's name. It was our TID unit, Technical Division, Forensics.
Got it.
That go out to the scene.
Got it. Okay. You discussed earlier, you testified earlier about receiving a call from a representative of the company. Do you recall that, about life insurance?
Yes.
And that person that called you was somebody named Feide?
That rings a bell, yes.
Okay. And that person informed you of the beneficiaries to the life insurance policy, the proceeds would be shared, correct?
Yes.
And they would be shared by the son, the two daughters, and Monica, correct?
Yes.
That was your understanding.
That was my understanding, yes.
And you were working in a supervisory role, but you did not have any day-to-day responsibilities on the case?
Day-to-day responsibilities? No, I did not.
Okay. And am I correct that after June 14th, 2017, you never had any contact with Monica Sementilli?
No.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Anything further? Thank you, Detective. You're excused. Well, you look like you need a break.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoops. Go ahead.
I apologize.
You didn't, no break yet.
I absolutely apologize. Detective, this voicemail you were describing earlier, you said it came to the main voicemail for the detectives?
On my line, yes.
On your personal?
Yes, for Squad 3.
Okay, so it was a voicemail you were saying was left on your line.
Correct.
And you thought this voicemail was significant?
I did.
And you kept a copy of it?
I did not.
Is there a reason you didn't keep a copy of it?
In hindsight, I probably should have, but what I did is like I said, I brought it to the attention of the lead detective. I had him listen to it, and I asked him if he wanted me to address the situation with the defendant. He said he would take care of it.
Okay. But you never recorded it?
I didn't record it. It was on the phone, but I did not make a copy of it.
And it was deleted at some point?
It must have been, yes.
Okay. And did you receive any other communication, voicemails, letters, anything like that from Ms. Sementilli?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Didn't you receive communication where you were copied on an email from Ms. Sementilli on June 1st, 2017?
It's possible. I don't have recollection of it, but it's possible.
Okay. Your Honor, may I please mark as Defense 612 a two-page email from Monica Sementilli to Jean Parshall, CC to Steve Castro.
Yes.
I'm objecting this as an exhibit. She's asking if you remembered it first.
I'm sorry. you interject to this admission, and you're premature then. May I proceed?
Showing you, this email. Did you ever receive this email from Monica Sementilli on June 1, 2017?
I may have, I just don't have recollection of it, but I may have, yes.
Okay. Is that your email address, 26287@lapd.online?
Correct, at the time.
And in this email, do you receive your emails at the station?
Yes.
And during this period, you were receiving all your emails?
Yes.
Okay. And am I correct that in this email, Monica Sementilli is communicating about when you will be meeting to hopefully get some new information?
Yeah, do you mind if I read the email?
Not at all. The email sent by Ms. Sementilli, she references a meeting that was scheduled for a couple of weeks that she says hopefully there'll be some new information.
She does talk about that, yes.
And she talks about phone records for her and the girls, and that she can easily access them and to let her know dates.
Yes.
And she talks to you about that she's going to be away from June 9th to the 13th, but her realtor will be at the home to show the home.
Yes, she says this to Detective Farshaw. She CCs me. Yes.
She CCs you on the
Correct.
Right. And she also talks about that Fabio's employer has continued to pay his salary, but that kindness is limited to the end of this month, correct?
Yes.
And this is an email sent in April, correct?
Can you
I'm sorry,
scroll?
June 1.
Well, I can't see it, but I'll take your word for it. Yes.
Nope, let me be
Okay.
sure.
June 1st, 2017. Yes.
So she's referencing the salary extension ending in the month of June.
Yes.
And she is talking about that she's forced to liquidate things what we can in an untimely manner.
Yes.
And she tells you that it's been over 4 months since you commenced the investigation, and she fully understands that it's both lengthy and complex.
Yes.
And that any assistance you could provide to us would be greatly appreciated. and would remove tremendous worry and burden.
Yes.
And then she finally asked you if there's anything more that they can do to accelerate the insurance claim process and what you need to facilitate this.
Yes, she talks about helping on this email. Mhm.
Yes. And that was, again, an email from Monica Sementilli to Jean Parshall, CC to you on June 1, 2017.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Go to Ms. Daigle.
Okay, so just to put it in perspective, Detective, on March 22nd, 2017 was the voicemail when she was upset about the life insurance and caused you enough concern to go to Parshall, correct?
Yes,
She didn't mention anything else about any other topic but the life insurance.
that is correct.
Okay. So then in June, 3 months later, she sends a letter not to you but to Parshall, an email. Is that correct? And
That
this
is correct.
Defense 612, and then she concludes the letter once again at the very end, saying, let us know what more we can do to accelerate the insurance claim process and what you need to facilitate this. So once again, she's asking about insurance.
She is.
Okay, thank you.
And she was sending this email, to your understanding, 5 months after her husband had been killed. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right.
Thank
June
you.
1st.
All right, so we're going to take a big vacation. Due to the your excuse, Detective. Thank you. Due to the holidays and all that kind of stuff, we will not be in session again until next Tuesday, which is the 18th at 9 a.m. A couple things I want to tell you. First is the admonition. You're not to discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else or form or express any opinion until the cause is finally submitted to you. Next, it's not a Friday, so I can't tell you, this is this or that. But don't forget,